in this division. And this coming week is no different. And it's spread all across the board. We are going to be tuned in to the NFC West this upcoming week from the crack of dawn on Sunday morning all the way to the wee hours of Monday night. So let's dive into it. Let's head on over the pond where LA is taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Usually we are treated to some of the worst football you could possibly imagine over there. And Sunday morning last week, fellas, was no different. That is one of the worst football games I have ever seen in my life. The Denver Broncos somehow almost lost to a Jets team that had minus 10 passing yards. They were this close to dropping it. That one finished 13-11. Hopefully we are treated to a better game this time around as the Rams take on the Jags. Both teams 4-2. Big game for both these teams in terms of the seeding. I know it's crazy to think about, but we're already nearing that halfway point, and these games are pivotal. So, Brandon, I'll start with you. We're waking up early. Man, it's even earlier for you guys out on the West Coast, 6:30 a.m. start here. So what are your thoughts on this one, Rams-Jags? Anyway, across the pond, Brando?
Yeah, so I think that this is a tough game for the Rams. They've to be able to have to travel all that far from LA. I hate being on the far West Coast with us. We already have to travel so much. First, you East Coasters like your Bills, you guys don't have to deal with anything close to this, and it's a significant amount of travel, especially when you're talking about mid-season. Your body's already tired, long flight. You got a Jacksonville team's going to be able to go a little shorter. They're going to be a little bit hungrier, I think, coming off this loss. And I think that you're going to see the key on this one being if the Rams can go out here and generate the kind of quick pressure that the Seahawks were able to, because though it was a high volume amount of pressures the Hawks came away with last week against that Jacksonville team, it's a Jacksonville team that tries to get the ball out of its hand quick. And so you've got to get to them fast from a pressure-based standpoint. And we know the Rams have the ability to do that. But I do feel like, and again, watching Trevor, I feel like he's slowly coming a little bit more forward as a player, that he is slowly improving. Doesn't mean he's not without still some moments that make you scratch your head. So this is one where I'm actually going to be drawn to think, I'm going to go with my upset here. I think that it's going to be the fact they've got to do that long travel that's enough to upend this. I'm going to go 24-21 Jacksonville.
Well, Mike, what do you make of this? Practicing at old Camden Yard? I think I read somewhere this is the first non-baseball event there in like a couple of decades. So maybe they get a little good juju there or something. What do you think happens here? Rams, Jacksonville.
I mean, I think it's smart to obviously try to accommodate to the time zone, because the time difference is going to be it's a killer, man. Some people say it's not, but it is. It can really mess up your body clock. And I feel like the Jaguars are always on freaking London time. Like they're always there. Like I don't know what it is. They at least have like 2 or 3 primetime games there every freaking year. So it's really weird. Honestly, I was leaning towards the Rams, but like I was very disappointed in how you guys looked with no Puka Nacua and against this Ravens team. Like, and I know it's probably buying into the whole what CJ Stroud did and the other quarterbacks did against this defense, but I was really disappointed in Stafford. I thought he was going to put up some crazy numbers and prove that, hey, we are that team that's going to take the next step, especially when you lose against the San Francisco 49ers the week before. I'm going to lean back to the Jaguars here. I do think that they are going to be a team that can very well beat the Rams. I say this game is going to be 28-23. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars winning this game.
2 for 2 on the Jags. Jesse, you willing to make it a hat trick here?
Gosh, I've really been back and forth on this game. I could see either team winning. I do like Jacksonville overall. I think they've got a talented team. I don't like that Puka's not playing. I don't like that Witherspoon's not playing. It's a lot. But because I am back and forth, and I also can't erase playing the Jags a couple weeks ago. I know that the Jags beat us, and we beat the Rams, and all of that. But the Jags team is extremely boneheaded. They get dumb penalties all the time. Trevor Lawrence and Cohn still can't get out of a huddle with efficiency on a regular basis. It's the weirdest thing to watch, and it seems to happen at the worst times. Their offensive line was exploited a little bit last week, or a lot of it, I should say, against Seattle, and I think the Rams can do a lot of those same things. And ultimately, I'm just going to have to go with the quarterback that I trust more if the game is tight, and I think it will be. So that's Matthew Stafford. So I'm going to go 23-20 Rams.
All right, Jesse's on the Rams side. Got a feeling I know where Jake's going, but talk me through it. What goes down in the morning on Sunday?
Hey, now, let's not forget, I'm the expert here when it comes to the Jacksonville
You're
Jaguars.
damn right.
All right, they're 4-2, and I'm 6-0, picking the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I thought that they were going to be a good team. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars. That hasn't changed. What has changed is Devin Lloyd, who is a superstar this year, leading the league in interceptions, second in PFF grade for linebacker, third in blitz pressures. He's out. They've already ruled him out for Sunday. I think that's significant. Ventrell Miller played well against Seattle, but he's not Devin Lloyd. Then you had no pressure. And I don't think like Seattle has a bad offensive line, but their offensive line isn't like special. And Josh Hines-Allen, absolute star, no pressure from him whatsoever. Trayvon Walker, I didn't really like what I saw on film with Jacksonville against Seattle. And then you go to the offensive line and you see Walker Little give up, 4 sacks this past week? Jacksonville gave up 7. Robert Hainsey is so key and critical to this team. If he doesn't play, and he's right now limited, so we'll see if he plays or not. Jonah Monheim, the 7th round, he is not ready for this. He's just not ready for this at all. So where we're at on this one is that the Rams are going to have to score in the red zone and stop kicking field goals. And I believe they're going to do that. So give me the Rams in this one. I'm going to say it's really close. I'm going to go 28-22 Rams.
We move from the wee hours of the morning into the late afternoon where the Green Bay Packers are on the road to take on the Arizona Cardinals. And look, these Green Bay Packers, it's interesting. I mean, they let that really rough Cincinnati Bengals team led by Joe Flacco, who was in the building for 24 hours, really hang around in that game. Just an awfully interesting season where they started off looking like they were the best team in the league, and they've kind of cooled off a bit despite being 3-1-1. The Cardinals look to bounce back off of that loss to the Colts. Jake, I'll kick it right back to you here. How do you see this one going down between the Packers and the Cardinals?
Kind of unfair. The Cardinals come off such an impressive loss, probably one of the better losses of the year that you could have. I thought Jacoby Brissett showed out. I really don't like the Packers as much as everyone else. Their offense doesn't impress me. So I'm going to go with the upset here. I think Arizona wins this game. I think Arizona's going to win this game. Yes, I do.
With Jacoby or Kyler?
Jacoby. I think Jacoby's going to start.
Thank you. Okay.
I think Jacoby's the better quarterback right now. I'm going to say 17-13 Cardinals.
Ooh, Jake with the upset in an ugly one against the Packers. Brandon, what do you think here between Green Bay and Arizona?
Yeah, I think Jake's got some great thoughts in regards to this, especially when it comes to me being right, when it comes to Kyler Murray. But I think as well, there's going to be a really great discussion for us when we get in the offseason with seeing the Mac Jones experience going down in the Niners and Brissett and what he's doing with the Cardinals here, and just having good quarterback discussion about what really drives success, what you should look for, when you should pay, when you shouldn't pay, and then when you pay, the problematic issue that creates, and then the impetus to try to then have to play that guy regardless of whether that's the right way to go or not. But that has nothing to do with this discussion. I do think that this is a Packer team that just seems to not really be able to really lock it in. Maybe they get to their best form a little bit like us, where they show you this different kind of one week to the other view of who they are, and then it all gets good down the home stretch, and they suddenly look into the team that we thought they could be. But right now, they're just not playing with enough consistency to me towards either side of the ball, and they're not putting teams away. I think this is a game that is going to be close. I think 28-24, as much because Jacoby's going to be able to execute enough of this offense. I think the Packers do get up ahead in this one, and then the Cardinals are able to kind of bring something a little bit back forward as Packers can't put teams away.
What about you, Jesse? Where's your confidence level at in this game, and on which side is it at?
Yeah, I definitely think that we got a little ahead of ourselves with the Packers early on, or a lot of people did. But the Cardinals are just not impressive to me at all. I can't unsee that 49ers game, and I just don't know that they can manufacture points the way that they need to be able to. And so I think the Packers defense is good enough to hold them down. I do think that it is relatively close, but give me the Packers 23-17.
Mike, 4 straight L's for the Cardinals, and man, they've been close in every single one of them. Do they turn it around this upcoming Sunday afternoon?
I mean, I think what the Cardinals need to do is something very similar to what they did with the Colts. I mean, you're going to have to score points. I mean, I don't think I like this defense that we have, but it's so tough, man. I really want to pick the Cardinals, but I don't think we're going to get blown out. We stood toe to toe with the Colts, but I do think that the Green Bay Packers are going to win this game. It's going to be another heartbreak. I don't know who's going to be the quarterback. I think it's leaning towards Jacoby right now because of Ian Rapoport's report saying that there was frank injury from Kyler Murray's foot. So he might miss another week, which is this week right here. So he might come back here on Monday night, which is after our bye week in week 9. So I want to pick the Cardinals so darn bad, but I got to lean over to what I've seen already. It's just the Cardinals aren't able to close out games either. So I would say 23-20 Cardinals lose. I agree.
Dun, 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 dun. We move to Sunday Night Football live from San Francisco as the Niners look to get back on track, taking on an Atlanta Falcons team that made my Buffalo Bills look like a Pop Warner squad on Monday Night Football. It's the 3-2 Falcons, the 4-2 San Francisco 49ers in prime time. Mike, I'll start with you here. Woo! Damn. You know what I love about that, by the way? So underrated. The perfect segue. They've always, every single time, perfect segue from Carrie Underwood into that beat. Like it's just a relay. And it's just every time you know you got a good matchup coming when you hear it. We got a good matchup Sunday night. Falcons, Niners. Mike, talk to me.
Oh, so I would have picked Niners, but damn, man, I was very impressed with what they did to your Bills. I'm sorry, they just like dismantled the Bills. Like they made Josh Allen look silly out there. Like there is a real way to win games when you got a real dynamic running back and Bijan Robinson back there. This guy is dynamic. Now they got weapons. They got Pitts, they got London, they got players, and their defense showed out pretty darn well. Now I'm not sure if they exposed the lack of wide receivers or just the inability of your guys' defense. I'm talking about the Bills. Like, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but like I have a lot more confidence in the Falcons after seeing that game. Now, is it going to translate here onto Sunday Night Football? I think it will. I absolutely think it absolutely will. Now, Mac Jones, a great story, and everything else that's happened to the 49ers, but this is not going to be an easy win for you guys anymore. The Falcons are, I'm not going to say legit, I'm not going to say Super Bowl or even a division, but they're going to be a tough out. I'm going to say the Falcons end up actually beating the San Francisco 49ers here 23-17. I just think that Robinson is just that damn dynamic, and he can go ahead and take over a game in a heartbeat. So I got the Falcons on this one.
Mike has the Falcons really starting to ascend here and cement themselves really in the thick of things here in the NFC. How about yourself, Brandon? Sunday Night Football, Falcons, Niners.
Yeah, I think it's Jake or Jesse's related to my Seahawks as sometimes being the roach of this division that you just can't stamp out. I feel like the Niners have become the zombies of this division where it's they lose an arm and they're still coming at you, eating your brains. Half their face melts off and they're still coming at you. Oh, there goes the skin. We've got nothing but just a fleshy remains. And yet here they still come, still managing to find wins. But it does feel like this Fred Warner was one where you finally have reached what is the breaking point? This has got to be it. There may be no more important player on the San Francisco team, period, than Fred Warner to the rest. And they don't have a guy in Tatum Bethune who came out of college weighing, is out of college, 210 pounds, will be their middle linebacker, I believe, this next week. This is just going to be too light in the pants as far as the 49ers. This isn't really about matchup based or whatnot. The Niners have been very good at stopping the run this year. I think they will be in this one, but I think the Falcons can get by in just merely passing if they have to in this one. And the Niners just won't have enough to really deal with that. So I'm going to give Falcons the nod on this one pretty comfortably. I'm going to go 27-17. I think Brock 27-21. I think Brock's going to get him, Mac's going to get a couple of touchdowns in this one, but I just don't like the combination. Brock's going to start. Oh God.
Yeah.
Brock's starting.
Yeah, I think
20,
he's going to be.
All right. Well, I'm going to go 27-14 then. I think this would be better for Mac.
Yeah. Let me change my prediction.
Jake, what do you make of this big NFC showdown on Sunday night?
Well, I thought I had all the answers, and then I found out Brock is going to start.
It's not official, but I would be shocked if he doesn't play this week.
All right. So I'm going to do a rare thing here, okay? I am going to have this, what is it? Conditional? There we go. Conditional prediction, okay? So 2 predictions here. If one thing happens, whatever. So Atlanta has technically the best pass defense in the league. I believe that Mac Jones will still beat them. I was going to go with the 49ers. I'm going to go with the 49ers and Mac Jones plays. The reason being, the Falcons are not good on the road. They got blown out by Carolina 30-0. Their only road win was against the Vikings with J.J. McCarthy, who isn't good at all. So, hate to break it to you, but that wasn't really that impressive of a win. I don't think the Falcons are that legit. I mean, I know Z-Bot is going to say it too. The Bills can't stop a nosebleed. Passing, rushing, they can't score. I don't know what to make of the Bills.
They're not good. That's what to make of them.
Yeah, they're just not that good. So that was their marquee win. And then Washington, who I also don't think is that good. I don't know. So I'm going to go with the 49ers. If Mac Jones plays, I'm going to say they win 23-13. And if Brock Purdy plays, screw it. I'm still going to go with the 49ers because I just don't think the Falcons are good on the road at all. If Brock Purdy plays, give me 23-20.
23-20. Listen, Jesse, injuries be damned. The Niners win this game. They're 5-2. So what do you think goes down on Sunday night?
Yeah, I'm glad that Jake said it because that's exactly right. I mean, this is the same team that got smacked and got their quarterback benched against a Carolina Panther team on the road just a few short weeks ago. So I don't think that this Falcons team is some juggernaut that can't be beat. They've got a really banged up offensive line as well. Like 4 of their 5 starters potentially may not play. I think this is a very evenly contested game. I think that the 49ers get it done. I do. I think that they will win this game, and the schedule doesn't get easier after this, but I don't think the Falcons are this great team that's unbeatable. So give me the 49ers to win this game. Let's go 27-23 Niners.
Jesse, you brought something up. Jake, you did as well. You guys, do you mind reminding me what it was on the road? Carolina Panthers. What was the score of that game again?
30-0.
Oh, okay.
This team lost to the Carolina Panthers 30-0.
Yeah, that was me last night. So I just figured you guys just remind me because I forgot there for a second. But
Zeba is on another level because he has to do all this prep for all the roundtables that he hosts. And then he goes on his Bill show and he's like, I know everything about every team at this point, so I'm freaking pissed.
Yeah, didn't take Nostradamus to know that Bijan Robinson was going to look like prime Jim Brown in that game. That's exactly what wound up going down. So
he looked like Todd Gurley when he's the best offensive player in the league. Yeah, it's just crazy.
It was unbelievable. Well, we are all over the board here. Like I mentioned, let's move to Monday night in a rare 10 p.m. slot. Dun, 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 dun. Monday night football.
Someone needs to be fined.
I know these doubleheaders are ridiculous. I will say, though, I do enjoy when they are at different times as opposed to last night, because even though you're up late, you can watch them both because, I mean, that Bears game was great, and I didn't get to watch most of it last night. So we'll be tuned in for this one late. It's the Houston Texans taking on the Seattle Seahawks under the lights in Seattle. Mike, what are you making of this one, Houston, Seattle?
I was so high on Houston. I really was in the beginning. And I counted the Seahawks out multiple times, and that's even dating back till last year, and I always get proven wrong. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks on this one. I just think that they got a lot of things going on for them right now, and they got JSN, which is great. And their tight end is doing a really good job too. Is it Barner, right? That's who it is? Yeah, they're doing a really good job with it. So I'm going to lean on the Seahawks here. I'm going to say 31-21.
Seahawks take it according to Mike. How about you, Jake?
Brandon, do you have any sound effects like the Okay.
Even better.
There's going to be an NFC West sweep. That's right. The 49ers, the Cardinals, the Rams, and I'm taking the Seahawks on, I can't believe, 10 p.m. What are we doing? Monday Night Football. They're going to win. I don't know if this game is going to be close. I don't. Houston is having a hard time winning. I'm going to take Seattle 27-10.
Ooh, we're not even going to be treated to a show on Monday night. Well, Brandon will be.
You don't
the
need to
rest of
stay
us.
up unless you're Brandon.
All righty. Well, Brandon gets to watch it nice and early
Game's
over
over
on the West Coast. So luckily for you, this one could be over before the sun even sets, according to Jake. Jesse, according to you, what goes down Monday night?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game. The Texans are coming off of a bye, though. And I think that the bye came at a really good time for them. They're going to get some guys back. The offensive line started playing better before the bye week. It's not special by any means, and I definitely think Seattle can exploit it. I've got to ask you some questions, though, Brandon. You guys had a lot of injuries last week on defense. Who's in and who's out? I do need to know that.
It's still quite hard to say on Witherspoon if he's going to be back in or not. I would say probably a good chance you're going to get Love back for this one at the safety position at least. DeMarcus Lawrence returned last week and was very effective for us. So that was the big boon there, is you lost Hall and you were already down DeMarcus Lawrence in that Tampa Bay game, which took you down to basically 2 edges at that point. So him coming back has been really nice. outside of that, though, you don't have any other real, major injuries across the board. Absent that, everybody else is there on the defensive line. It was really just down to that in the secondary a little bit. But Woolen, I would guess, is going to come back because that was a concussion, and he's had the extra week at this point. So usually when it's not the first short week, okay, you don't come back, it's to week 2. Usually, unless it's a very serious concussion, he's probably going to be back by that point.
No, well, that might lose you the game in itself. Well, listen, okay.
Well played.
Very, very good defense there with the Texans as well. I think this is going to be a fun matchup. I'm going to go with the Texans upset, though. I'm going to go 24-23 Texans.
Wow. Upset alert in Seattle. Brandon, I know you don't want to hear anything of it. I mean, talk to me here. 5-2 is on the line. You getting to it on Monday night?
Well, Z-Bot, I'm going to have a hard time being unbiased on this one. I hate going into wish predictions, but I feel like I'm wishing this prediction like the Sydney Sweeney's greatest stalker. I want this that bad. So I need
that bad.
Bad. I want this win because you go get this win. Now you go into the bye at 5-2. You're not only going to the bye at 5-2, you're setting the stage to be able to go out there and get a little bit dangerous at the trade deadline with all that money you got sitting in your hip pocket. Maybe go make a move that can really go out there and make a difference on this team, but it's got to be pushed upon that confidence. So I'm not going to lie on this one. I'm definitely pushed by wanting this as much as actually seeing it. I think the Texans are having a pretty tough difficulty on this one, having to come out to the West Coast and start a game that's going to be 9:00 p.m. on their body clock when that clock begins. That's just when it starts. Now, it's going to be hard for us too. It'd be a little bit later, but I think it's going to be even tougher for a team like the Texans on that. And I think this matchup really comes down to me on that offensive line for the Texans and how porous it was on paper. And I think how porous it's been. They get around it by getting the ball out of CJ Stroud's hand. But look at all the pressures generated last week by the Hawks defense when they actually had their guys out there that could be ready to rock. I think you're going to do more of the same, being able to play at home, getting after that offensive line of the Texans and keeping CJ Stroud under a lot of pressure while at the same time being able to limit the running game, which the Texans have been able to lean upon a little bit to maintain balance this year to kind of take some of the pressure off CJ. Defensively, they're the truth. They can get after it. They can get pressure, but I think you've shown offensively enough that you're capable week in and week out to at least put up the 20 points on the board. And I think the defense keeps things down to their side. So I'm going to go 21-17 Seattle Seahawks.
We do a quick shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. Right now, they have an awesome offer going down. You click the link down below, you download the app, you make an account, boom. That's all you need to do to get a free $20 entry. You can check out Sleeper right there and then with a free $20 entry, no deposit necessary. Link below, click it, create an account. You're ready to go. We've told you 1,000 times, but we can't stop bragging about it. Brandon and I, we got the $20 free play. We put it to use. We balled out. We cashed in out in LA. You can do the same with a free $20 entry over at Sleeper. And if you want to get in even further on the action, use the promo code RTS and you'll get a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms of use for details. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper via the link in the description below.